When's the last time you went to the mechanic? I bet your experience sucked or was less than satisfactory. Or it probably took longer than it usually does, and that's because there's a shortage of mechanics in the United States. And this is a problem you probably don't know about, but you should be talking about. This has been a problem for a couple of years now, and it's getting worse. So today we're going to talk about why there's a shortage of mechanics in the US, why it's getting worse, how it will affect you, and who will be working on your car in the future. Now first, I want you to comment in the comment section below and let me know how the mechanic shortage has affected you personally. And if it hasn't, let me know what you think about the mechanic shortage. And if you would like to become a mechanic and you're interested in it, you can email me at justcallmeeddie1@gmail.com and I'll answer any questions you might have about entering the industry. Now, most of the mechanics in the U.S. are old, and I'm not kidding. Over 50%, no, that's not true. 49% of the mechanics in the U.S. are over the age of 40, meaning they're going to be retiring soon. These guys, they're getting out of the business, and I hear it every day from the old mechanics. They're sick of the bull crap. But they got to be here because the younger generation only makes up 25% of the mechanics in the U.S. Now, there's about 780,000 mechanics in the U.S. according to the U.S. government, who I don't really trust. Now, there were some other sites that said there was like 100,000 mechanics. I'm not sure what they're classifying as a mechanic. But let's say a mechanic is anybody from a lube tech to an A tech at a dealership. Now, it doesn't matter what level these techs are at, they're leaving these jobs for better paying fleet management jobs and factory maintenance jobs. Now, these jobs are way more consistent with way more consistent work. You work on the same things every day. They usually break in the same ways. It's the same parts to fix them, and you get paid an hourly rate. Sometimes you just sit around waiting on things to break. Now, you can't blame these guys. These are good jobs. I mean, even though they sound kind of lame, they are pretty good paying jobs, and they come with great benefits. And people don't usually give them up a lot, but you got to remember, mechanics are old now, so there's going to be a lot of these jobs opening up. A lot of the younger mechanics that only make up 25% of the whole population are working at dealerships, changing oils, brakes, and such like that. And when these other jobs open up that are more steady and have more of an idea of what you're going to be working on every day, they're going to leave these dealership jobs, and there's going to be no one left to work on your vehicle. You don't believe me? Well, let me throw some numbers at you here. Now, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, whoever the hell they are, they say that only 76,000 new mechanic jobs are going to be happening every year for the next 10 years. So only 76,000 new jobs every year. Now, currently, according to some other website I found this number on, 36,000 new auto mechanics graduate from school every year. Now, I don't know what school helps you in auto mechanics. I never personally went to school, and none of the people that work in my shop ever went to school to work on a car. But to each his own. So 36,000 of them are coming out of trade school to enter the workforce. Now, they're not going to enter the workforce right away, but even if they did, over the next 10 years, we're going to have 760,000 new jobs coming out and only 360,000 trained auto mechanics to fill those jobs. Now, that's more than half the jobs that'll be left unfilled. Now, what's going to happen to those jobs? Well, they'll either be filled by people that are less qualified, and they will not be able to work on your car nearly as fast or as well. They might leave it broken too. Or those jobs will be just left unfilled in general. And then the people that have those jobs and they're trying to fill those positions, they'll go out of business. And there'll be nobody to take your car to when it breaks. And you see how this starts to affect you. A car is something that's almost irreplaceable to you. It takes you to work, it takes you home, it keeps your kids safe. It's something that you buy intending to keep for years and years on end, and it's something you want to keep on the road and keep well maintained because it can cost a small fortune to replace or repair. Now, when you don't have somebody to help you with this, it can be a struggle because these cars are complex machines that require lots of knowledge and ingenuity to be able to work on and repair. What's even more valuable than your car is somebody that can repair it properly and at a cost-effective rate for you. There's an old saying that good work takes time and money. So be prepared to wait some time and be prepared to fork out some money if you have a serious problem and somebody is going to try to fix it for you. This is only going to get worse, and whether you go to a dealership, an independent shop, or one of these Firestone service stations, the price of repairs is going to continue to go up as the demand for repairs goes up and as we have less mechanics entering the workforce. Not to mention all the ones with the experience are now retiring. Now, these sad times are already here. Like I said, if you've been in a mechanic recently, chances are your experience sucked. It was not good. You probably had to wait days for them to even figure out what was wrong with your car, and even longer for them to get parts, fix it, and get it back in your hands. Now, two factors are going to make this worse. More advanced technology in our cars and the lack of people willing to work on these more advanced cars. We got electric cars coming out. These things suck and they're going to have to be worked on. And let me tell you right now, people do not want to work on them. They're dangerous. They can hurt you. They can kill you. Now, let me let you in on another industry secret. There is a thing called a right to repair right now where the industry is fighting back against the manufacturers, saying we need access to information to be able to repair these vehicles properly. The manufacturer will make these vehicles so complex and then withhold the information to try to get you to buy another vehicle instead of taking it somewhere and getting it repaired. Now, this is what we're up against in the industry, and this is why not too many people want to come into the industry to repair these cars. You are literally working against the system when you try to repair these vehicles. The car manufacturers are not on your side. They are out for one thing, and that is to make money and sell more cars. So more cars that break, the more cars they can sell. There's a term for that, and it's called planned obsolescence. And it is a serious problem in the industry today. And this is something else you have to work against as a mechanic, where these engineers, they design these cars physically to break, and they design them to break so bad that they're just basically you need to buy a new car. And instead, the people can't afford them. They force mechanics to try to fix them, and they're ending up working on piles of Chinese junk metal. And that's what these things are. They're big paperweights. That's what they turn into. These cars that are 10 years old now, they do not last any time like they used to. What can you do as a consumer? Well, you can give your money to the companies that make the best cars. In my opinion, that's Honda and Toyota, but you don't have to just take my word for it. Do your own research, find out what car works for best for you, and make sure you buy the most reliable version of it. There's plenty of information on the internet to figure out which car is reliable or not. And if you have any questions, once again, you can always email me at justcallmeeddie1@gmail.com. You could also, as a consumer, find a good mechanic and hold on to them with dear life like you married them. Recommend them to other people, send your friends to them, make sure they have enough business to stay in business to keep your car on the road, because you will need them at some point, I guarantee it. Now, who will be working on your car in the future? Now, this is a pretty good question because I don't exactly know. I do know the days of the service tech station down the street with the little gas station pump out front and the 3 garage doors are over with. And I'm not 100% sure if you'll be able to take your car into the dealership and get it serviced or fixed in a decent amount of time for a decent price. That already seems like an impossible feat. And independent shops are slowly fading away and do not look to be like something that we'll be seeing in the future. So who's left to really work on your car? Well, it's probably going to be you. The DIY days of the world are here, and YouTube is the most popular streaming platform on the internet right now, and there is hundreds of thousands of DIY mechanics on YouTube showing you how to do stuff every day. And if you're not able-bodied enough to be able to do your own physical work to your car, you're probably still going to have to rely on a mechanic or the dealership to get your work done in your car. You could also go lease a car, and anytime it breaks, you just take it back to the dealership and release a new one. It's a hefty payment every month, but at least you do not have to worry about repairs all the time. Now, realistically, the DIYers and the mechanics of the world will just have to step up and take care of the people around them, fix their brothers' cars, their neighbors' cars, their friends' cars, and help keep them on the road. And that's probably what we're looking at in the future here. So that's why I'm here on YouTube, and I'm going to teach you and help you with anything that you have problems with to keep your vehicle on the road. I feel like this is the best way to share this information nowadays. Now, most of the people that will be working on your car right now didn't go to technical school, and they learned everything they know on the job. This is the case for every mechanic I essentially know in the business right now, and I would personally love if I could actually get a trained mechanic from a technical school into my shop and see how the knowledge works coming out of a technical school. But with only 36,000 of them coming out of school every year, the chances of me actually finding one and hiring one are very, very slim, and this is a problem all shop owners across the U.S. are facing right now. Now, the majority of the shop owners are part of the older generation, and they're going to be retiring soon. And if they have nobody to come up and replace them and take ownership of their business, they're just going to sell their business and cash out and retire off of the cash. And this is a problem for you because there'll be nobody to take your car to when it finally breaks. And we can talk numbers and statistics all day long, but when it comes down to brass tacks, we know that the mechanic shortage is real and it will be a serious problem moving forward in the future. And the best thing that you can do is to start learning about cars right now. And you can do this for free on the internet. And you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, where I post informational videos about problems in the car industry that might be arising. I also post videos about my own personal projects where I take cars from trash and turn them into treasure. Other than that, you can always email me at justcallmeeddie1@gmail.com if you have any questions about your personal car. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook, where I'm posting weekly content about the day-to-day process of my job. Thanks for watching, and whatever you do, however you do it, make sure you stay dirty, make sure you work hard, and most importantly, make sure you play hard. You can just call me Eddie.